that are anyway looking to solidify an opener's position in the absence of David Warner and the uncertainty surrounding his partner. That's what we've got, 17-18. Now the strike rate is worth looking at. Strikes at 65, 67. He's decided to calm down a little bit this year, but you take 57 as a strike rate anyway. He almost, I don't want to compare a young player to an established one, but he's sort of in, I will anyway, he is still in that David Warner sort of mold where he doesn't mind taking, playing a few shots early.
Yeah, but today he looked calm and composed. I mean, David Warner is a class apart. Right from the first time I saw him, he was like, someone who was very, very aggressive. I don't think that Harris is in the same league as David Warner. Maybe with experience he can
just
become.
As a type of batsman, almost the prototype.
Yeah, but I think, see, he's an experienced first-class cricketer, and that's why he looked composed, because, and he's used to opening in first-class cricket, and there's a difference again between Finch, who has had more international cricket exposure and experience than Harris. As a regular opener, you know your game plan, you know how to build your innings, and that's why he looked calm and composed. And with each and every inning, his confidence level will just get better and better. But that the mindset which Brad Hodge was talking about, that was very evident, and he looks to be a good little player. But it's all about giving that start, because the middle order is also inexperienced. So again, a lot will depend on how someone like Usman Khawaja and Shaun Marsh bat. If both these batsmen who are at the crease now bat well, then invariably Australia can pose a good total. But they don't want Shaun Marsh and Usman Khawaja to play new ball very quickly, and that's why the responsibility of the openers is not only to score runs quickly, but also to make sure that they don't lose wickets early on.
It'll be a nice thing for the dressing room to see someone who can actually, an opener who can trust his defence or leaves a lot of balls early on, especially the new Kookaburra ball.
And that's why you mentioned about Renshaw.
First test,
for me, I think he had the temperament. When he came to
very
India,
good when he came,
and so I would definitely prefer him ahead of Aaron Finch. Two composed batsmen, just see through the new ball, because India's strength, if they're going with four bowlers, will be how to negate the fast bowlers, especially with the new Kookaburra ball, play 10-15 overs, and as the ball gets older, batting becomes easier in Australia.
When I quickly asked Brad Hodge before we look forward to the next session, why Matthew Renshaw's fallen out of favour. He went to the UAE and wasn't played as the preferred opener, Hodgie, and now he finds himself out of the squad. What's gone off with Matthew Renshaw, who impressed a lot of us when he came to India?
Yeah, I'm not sure actually. I thought he did an excellent job when he opened the batting for Australia. For some reason, there's just a change of thought process and he found himself out of the side. Unfortunately, he didn't quite take his opportunity in this short little period where Marcus Harris got 250. But all I know is that Renshaw on the weekend scored over 300 for his club team. So he's hitting the ball well enough. I think there is a case, for an out-and-out openers, especially in Australia, where the new ball is so important to allow your middle order to, do their work. But look, I'm a big fan of Renshaw as well. I understand exactly what Lakshman is saying, that he looks composed, batsman that does his hard work, leaves the good ball, makes good decisions, and he also did really well in county cricket as well. So he's had a couple of good months to be able to suggest that he can make his way back in the side. I think the conundrum for Australia is they weren't quite sure about how they were going to fit this top six batsmen that they've got into the lineup.
Also, there aren't enough left-handers in that top order.
Oh my God.
So they don't want to fill it up with
one more left-hander.
That would make it 5 out of 6. India have 6 out of 6 in the top 6 right-handers. So
right-handers. Okay.
Do you pick your best? Do you pick your best batsman or? No, you get that. So okay, so food for thought. Let's move ahead to the next session. Jiten Chandrana points out that Ashwin could be big in this session. That's something that we've seen Ajit Agarkar say as well. But what's the role that you'd like for Ashwin to do when it comes to the type of bowling? We've seen, I think Shane Warne did a qualitative analysis of the difference in the way Lyon bowls and Ashwin bowls. We did see Ashwin bowl differently in Edgbaston though. He tried to bowl differently with a little bit of top spin or overspin.
Yeah, I think patience is going to be the biggest thing. I think Ashwin sometimes runs out of it a little bit and tries too many things. I think Nathan Lyon's shown him what needs to be done. That's probably the role of a spinner when you travel overseas. Maybe in the fourth innings it could be different. He might be the attacking option. At the moment, it'll have to be a lot more patient. Lots of off spin, whether it's whatever he bowls or just a lot of overspin. That again, but hopefully he stays away from too many carom balls and leg spins if he doesn't get wickets too early, because it bowled really well before lunch. Hopefully he carries on, because It's not like the batsmen have gotten away.
Yeah.
There are two left-handers in there. He's kept good control, and it is going to get tougher as the ball gets older. That's why he needs to keep that patience through the course of the day, because that will help Virat then rotate the seamers from the other end.
Just looking at some numbers that R. Ashwin would want to get right, and this is something that does somewhat haunt at least his reputation or his ego, if not the man himself, because for someone who's got nearly 340 test wickets, you would like his numbers in Australia to be better than averaging at 52. Strike rate as well, not much. 7 matches, so he's played a significant amount of games in Australia now for at least attempting or trying to get those numbers better. VVS, you talk about patience or focus for batsmen as a virtue.
Yep.
For the off spinner, it becomes equally important.
Yeah, especially for a bowler like Ashwin, because he's an attacking bowler. And when you're an attacking batsman or when you're an attacking bowler, you always look for runs in the form of boundaries, or an attacking bowler, you always look for wickets.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you mentioned about Birmingham at Best and Match. That's a perfect template for Ashwin, how to bowl in overseas conditions. Wickets will come. Wickets is the byproduct of the process and the plan you're trying to execute. So patience again is a virtue, like what we discussed yesterday for the Indian batsman. And Ashwin is someone who takes a lot of pride in the way he plays his game. And he will be really disappointed that his performance is overseas, because he's a skillful bowler. It's got so many variations, and great spinners always say that the wicket doesn't really matter. We are beating the batsman in the air, by your flight, by the dip, by the loop. So I think this is a great opportunity, just like the way Pujara had his first 100 in Australian conditions yesterday. Who knows, this can be a very important tour for Ashwin. And if he is in form, not only as far as the wicket columns is concerned, but just by restricting the flow of runs, then India has got quality pace bowlers who can pick up wickets and put pressure on from the other end.
The excessive left-handers in this Australian batting lineup might in fact work for R. Ashwin. If you look at numbers of Ravichandran Ashwin when it comes to left-handers and right-handers, you'll see that this is of course India's bowlers in test, left-handers and right-handers. It's not bad. Ashwin significantly better, 19.9 the average and 31 against right-handers. So he likes bowling to his left-handers. We keep talking about Ashwin's variations, Brad, and we keep comparing him to Nathan Lyon. It's one thing that Nathan Lyon doesn't have variations. Sometimes it could be an advantage for a bowler to only have one ball. So that's all he can do. We had a similar sort of short chat between Ashwin and Moeen Ali in England, but because Ashwin's got all these toys, he sometimes gets tempted to use them.
Yeah, you can. I think the one thing to know that he's such a tremendous skillful bowler. Last year in the IPL when he showed up and he said, "Brad, I'm going to bowl leg spin." This year I said, "Well, okay." I thought you're an off-spin bowler, but he's an analytical person. He likes to study the game and he understands what works for him. And I think he started this Test match really well. His role is really important. I don't think you'll find on a day 2 wicket in Adelaide that you're going to blow Australia out of the water. But in the past, maybe we saw those records, and he's come up against an Australian team in the past who's had pretty good players: Spin Warner, Steve Smith, Michael Clark, Shane Watson. So, yeah, this particular batting lineup is vulnerable, and with those left-handers there, it's a great opportunity just for him to try and end up. Be patient. It might not be a day where he gets 6 for 80. It might be a day where he walks off with, 3 for 75, and the captain's happy, and he can rotate his quick.
Okay, I remember him bowling leg spin in the Irani Trophy to Wasim Jafar, who took him to cleaners all day, but he actually bowled okay. Bowled leg spin okay to Brad. I don't know. Let me ask Brad only. Were you happy with what you saw when he actually landed a few leg spinners in the first few games at least?
It was outstanding, actually. I was in awe of the skill. I couldn't understand how he done it. But
don't smile, Brad, when you say that.
It was tremendous. I loved the way he talked about it. He said, "Look, I've studied T20 international cricket and domestic cricket, and all the leading wicket takers are leg spin bowlers. In fact, the top 7 are." So he said, "I want to join them." I said, "Okay, go for it."
It sounds like Ashwin. Okay, let's as we continue having some fun building up to the next session, it's time for our Fab 4. Remember this game we started with VVS, Ajit and Brad yesterday. They pick 4 players, and depending on how they do, almost like a fantasy system, they get points, and whoever's on top gets bragging rights and other goodies and gifts, which I'll think of later on. Let's see how our experts have done so far. And shockingly, Ajit Agarkar went for Aaron Finch, Who's got him nothing?
He's a good friend. I played with him.
Ah, right. So that's how you're picking them, is it? Okay. Usman Khawaja is key to everybody's points. 21 points to Khawaja, Sean Marsh too. So Ajit has 3 active players for the day. Aaron Finch has put his feet up and unless something remarkable happens, won't be batting again today. Let's have a look at our next pick, and that's for VVS Lakshman, who went for Ashwin. So 20 points, as Ashwin already nails it, and Khawaja and Sean Marsh. So he's in. That looks like a good 4 to pick. He picked second and he still picked better. What is this?
The match is not over. Yeah. Is what Ajit's reply would be.
But it's okay. Even if you're trailing, we'll give you a bonus.
I've got a different strategy from
Hyderabad.
tomorrow. I've got a different strategy from tomorrow.
You're
not tomorrow. Today, actually, I should have picked 3 Indian bowlers.
Oh, that way, that.
Every wicket is how many points?
So you're basically saying we put these rules in favor of the bowlers.
Bowlers, exactly.
Okay. That's what the batsmen have been saying all their life.
Brad Hodge, how have you done? You did go for Marcus Harris, but for an unfortunate wicket for him, just pad and gone. But on 46 points, Peter Hanscom's there, and Bumrah and Ashwin. So he does have 3 active players too. Very well. Quick final comment, Haji, from you. Got a comment from one of our viewers saying, if Usman Khawaja's wicket is got early, this game can be split wide open. Do you get that feeling?
Oh, absolutely. I think that in this next hour, if India can pick up Marsh and Khawaja, then I think they can actually even possibly go in to the second innings with a lead. If they don't, then it's going to be hard work. It's a flat wicket, and they are the key. We've got Travis Head, who's only played a couple of matches. Tim Payne, who's only still stamping his authority in Test match cricket, and also Hanscom coming back after lengthy layoff. So they've done all the Aussies, and if India can pick up Marsh and in particular Khawaja is a quality player, then they're right into this Australian lineup.
It's good on you to pick Peter Hanscom then.
That was the question. Oji, you picked Peter Hanscom and you're not showing faith on him.
Yeah, get Marsh and Khawaja and it's over. Okay, but that feeling will be there. That could be the talk right now in the Indian camp. Just get Khawaja, who's not run away with the game. He's batted time, but
the talk won't be that just get Khawaja.
Okay.
They know that the other batsmen are capable of batting. Hanscom, I still remember he got a brilliant 100, I think playing at Ranchi when Australia came here. So I think there's still the batsmen. Tim Payne also showed what he can do when they drew the Test match in UAE against Pakistan. So I think India has to work hard. This is a flat wicket. They cannot be thinking or being very happy with the way the first session has gone, because this is a flat wicket in favor of the batsmen. They have to work hard. They have to have a game plan. They have to go out and execute that game plan. And they have to show a lot of patience, just like the way they did in the first session. Yeah.
One final question coming from our viewers. Good to have you guys wake up early in the morning and send it in. Jiten Chandrana, any chance? It's a good question that reverse swing could come into play. Could make Shami more effective, or is the outfield too lush and the pitch not abrasive enough to rough it up? Australia and reverse
it's an interesting one. It's quite a slow outfield actually, which has 250 might have been a 275 yesterday. I mean, even Australia would have been a few runs extra today. So that's hard work for the batsmen as well. It's an interesting one, reverse swing. I think the ball will be scuffed off enough, but it is a lush outfield. So we'll have to wait and see. Sometimes you can't predict when it does swing. Australia, I think, got a little bit yesterday, but not a lot. And I mean, from my memory, I don't think I had a lot of reverse swing in Adelaide. There was more conventional swing than reverse swing.
Australia will be very wary of trying to get reverse swing now. They have to play the game with elite honesty. So work the game.
I mean, you can still get the ball to reverse without using the other things. But I think that's something which the Indian bowlers, will have to get, and a lot of contribution from the fielders as well. But I think Ajit can throw more light, because I've seen a lot of them bowling cross seam, trying to not land on the seam and land on the leather part, so that the one side can scruff up. And you have to get reverse swing with Kookaburra ball. Otherwise, it becomes very, very easy for the batsman when there is no conventional swing on offer.
Yeah, I mean, you try and work on the ball in a proper fashion as much as you can. With Ashwin bowling, it will land on or make the ball a little bit rougher. You can't predict it if it will swing. I think the bowlers will be trying to make it happen. Hopefully for India, even if there's a little bit shape, it's a different ball game then.
All right. Many thanks, Ajit. VVS, big session in this game. Many thanks to Brad Hodge too for joining us. Get thoughts from all these three gentlemen at tea time. It's a big session to try and decide the course of this test match. Australia have seen off the new Kookaburra ball. India would still think they have a chance if they get a few wickets early. Download the ESPN Cricinfo mobile app for ball by ball updates, and we'll see you again at tea time on ESPN Cricinfo Matchday.